mic a bit. It doesn't
have much. I know. But then we discovered later
it's the same thing.
Dan didn't break it. It was just that this thing, see how that's metal there?
Yeah.
On that, it was just plastic. So we just replaced it with a metal one.
Yeah.
And like Dan didn't break it at all.
Yeah, Ari told me like, I'm just like, I'm shooting up Dan just because it's fun.
Yeah.
Because he overreacts like right away. And then when that, like in the first, like in the beginning, Dan was like, oh, no, that wasn't me.
Yeah.
And then Mikael pulled up a picture from our episode where Dan was sitting behind this thing and was like, oh, it wasn't you.
So it was all just those two shit-stirring Dan getting him fired up. Yeah.
Just like fucking around with him.
All right.
Yeah.
Get my water. What's that? We got tea in there?
Yeah, tea.
Tea. Oh, with your army flask.
Dude, but this is the best one. I got it for when I was doing private.
Oh, okay.
private
Yeah, okay.
And then they gave it to me and I had lost the previous one. So, but this one, it has the skull.
Baryanov.
Yeah, it would be better if it wasn't with the skull. Like, the fuck, am I a pirate or some shit?
Yeah, it looks badass. Like, come on.
Yeah, it looks too badass.
Drinking tea like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
All right.
But they hold like 6 hours or some shit like that.
I bet they the middle of the forest. You be 3 a.m. You're going through you're doing your service.
You get a secret stash up here.
Oh, that's where you can put your snus or something maybe, so your commander can't see the.
Probably.
Maybe that's where you're supposed to put your tea bag or something.
Yeah.
Does sound like
money.
Military. Yeah. So this is I'm back. We're back, comedy guy. I had 6 weeks off or whatever. But because we had 6 weeks off because we were doing stand-up. It was time to do stand-up again. We had the summer tour. We're doing shit. So, I got some more lined up here. We got new episodes of Comedy Guy coming up. And this, our first episode back for our autumn schedule. Pow, is Mr. Roger Andre here. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Nice. So, you're doing good. You've got your tea. I got you in here today because I wanted to, maybe we could explain to everybody how we put together the summer tour, and more specifically how you and the rest of the guys put together the summer tour, not me, and like break it down and talk about it, and like people can learn a little bit about how that, because that tour is very unique compared to the rest of our other tours, and like people just learn about what it takes to put on a tour and a bunch of shows and what goes on behind the scenes to make that happen.
Yeah, it was the worst working environment.
These colleagues suck.
These colleagues suck. No. Colleagues were great, but the comics, man. Fuck those guys.
So the reason also that I've got Roger in here is because Roger was one of the project managers running this tour. And it was part of your internship, like official internship for your degree. What degree or what study or course was it?
I'm basically PR. I'm studying PR.
Okay, yeah.
That's basically it.
Okay.
And I had to do internship somewhere. But I got fucked over last year. I was supposed to do Ironman, and then they I did like the first part of my what's the word again?
Internship.
Internship, yeah. I did the first part of it, but then when it was time for the second part, like I had an agreement where like I was supposed to do the second part a little bit earlier because we were going on summer tour. And then like last minute, the guys were like, no, if you're not there during that period, it's done. And I was like, okay, then it's done.
Fuck you then.
Yeah.
Okay, so great. So we weren't even your first choice.
Yes.
That's fine.
No, because I wanted to do something like on my own.
Yeah.
But then again, I was like, why am I like stressing so much? Like I could like be more productive because like we had to do the summer tour regardless. So I was like, okay, I'll write it into my course and then it'll be all right. And I was like panicking in the beginning because I was like not sure if my teachers were like up to it. when I wrote the email, I was like, okay, I'm doing it.
Oh, whether they'll accept this project as something.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Like maybe they thought that I'm like scamming or some shit.
Yeah, and what did they say? It was okay? Or?
Yeah, they were like, the teacher was like really positive about it. Yeah, because I like wrote in like a small description for Comedy Estonia, and I was like, yeah, they're doing events and stuff. And I think because of the coronavirus, it was like more appealing because then it's like it's harder PR because you can't do shows, and what's gonna happen.
And little did your teacher know that the PR was the easy part of that tour. That was the easiest part. Shows were full. That wasn't the difficulty. So okay, so that became an official part of your program. Because I remember I signed something at some stage.
Yeah.
Like to say someone gave me a document to say like I had to digitally sign it like I accept Roger as part of this company and this internship program or something.
Yeah, and I think like I wrote down like Henrik and Hela as my official like supervisors. So I think like one of them has to come to the like later on when I'm defending my.
Oh no shit!
thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought maybe you could submit this podcast as well as part
Yeah,
of the
I could
submission.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like it was a lot of fun because like the summer tour is it's the best like the best tour because we're always on the road and you're so like locked in, and especially after the corona, like after the lockdown we got like I don't know like 33 shows. And it was so good practice. Like when you're going up like at 2 in the night, I know, is it like AM PM
2 in the morning you might say. Yeah.
in the morning, yeah, after midnight.
Yeah.
Oh, so AM.
AM, yeah, 2 a.m.
Oh, yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, 2 a.m. And when you're going on stage at 2 a.m., dude, you're so tired. And then the guy's giving me shit because I'm like, oh, you got to do that and that and that as well. It was so funny. Man, when we rolled up to Viljandi, like we did everything. And then like before the tour, we talked with Carl, and Carl was like, yeah, I'm bringing my own soundboard and everything's all good. And we're doing the setup as the people are already coming in. And then someone's like, so where's the sound desk? And I was like, Carl has it. And Carl's like, no, I don't. And I was like, oh, shit.
What?
Yeah, last minute we got to get the soundboard from somewhere. Yeah. But it helped because it was Viljandi. We have that Walter Vaha guy.
Oh, okay, Walter.
Yeah, wrote to him. He's just like lined up a couple of people and then we had to go.
Carl didn't bring the sound desk up, bro.
He forgot it. But yeah, I got all the shit from it. But nah, it was all good.
I guess to explain to everybody first where like the concept of the summer tour and where it fits in, I'll give you the historical background to it. So typically in Comedy Estonia, we have the comedians and they're doing the shows, but then we have our admin team. So we've got Hella, who's running operations, Henrik, who's, straight up project manager, Christina in sales, and me just, jerking off to the side, right? And the idea is that most shows, like if you're coming to see Sanders tour in the autumn, then that's organized by Henrik and by Hella as well.
Yeah, by professionals.
By professional. They're employed to be a project manager and to make and to do all the organization, to call the venues, get the dates, put the publicity out there, the Facebook events, put tickets for sale, then work with the venue, what technicals, the microphone, the sound, all that. Does the venues have all that stuff? And that's the job. Now, the summer tour came about, I want to say probably 5 years ago. I mean, it was so long ago, it was just still me and Marian. Like, this is before Marilee, this is before everyone, Marilyn, before everybody, right? It was just me and Marian. Before you, yeah, it would have been before you. And we'd been working, and it came to summer, and Marian said, I don't want to work in summer, because they're the sort of things she used to say. And then I don't want to organize any shows in summer. And then Sander and the guys said, well, can we just do our own shows? Can we do our own summer tour? And we went, all right, yeah, sure. And the summer tour, so then the guys and then you came on a few years later, and it just sort of became a thing that you did yourselves without, for lack of a better term, professional project managers.
Definitely without professionals, man.
And it was great because it gave the admin team a bit of a break. And it meant as well that you could do some places that we wouldn't typically do, at least back then, right? Smaller places, countryside places. We use our bucket donation system so we don't have to worry about tickets all the time or fences and security guards to keep people in. You just ask for that. So it sort of evolved from and what we quickly discovered, it was very good for you guys to get to do something on your own without having the so-called professionals there to guide you the whole step of the way.
Yeah, and it made me respect more like Hendrik and Hellerin and like everybody from the crew, like because like now I'm like, oh, it's so much harder than I thought. Because like in the beginning in my mind it was like, okay, I'm gonna email those places and we're all good. But then you gotta re-email them because people forget stuff, and then like always you always have to be up to date. And then when you're like, okay, everything needs to be organized, but now I got like 10 minutes before my set, so I gotta concentrate on my set. I gotta do well as well on stage. So it was like trying to do like two different things, which was kind of hard.
Yeah, how did you find that balance? Because for me, it's taken me 10 years to get somewhere with having a balance between being an artist and running the business. Now, I understand, okay, running the whole business is a lot more work than organizing a summer tour, but nevertheless, like I'm intimately, like my whole life has been around how to balance those two. So I get it. Yeah. Like, how was it for you I got to set shit up, I got to get stressed about something, and then I got to be a funny guy, 10 minutes later.
It was kind of hard because like Carl had, but like the way we did it was like me and Carl, basically we like split up the whole tour. Like I did half the dates, he did half the dates, so it was easier to manage. But then Carl had like a couple of privates during the tour, and he had to go away. And then, but the bad thing about it was like those privates were on the days when he organized the show. So it was really weird, like going to a place where I'm like, everybody's expecting me to know shit, and I'm like, oh, I actually didn't. It wasn't my venue. So I always had to like get information from Carl. And the first times it was harder because I don't know, I had one question, I showed it to Carl, he answers, and I think that's it. But later on I got down to a checklist, like everything I need to know from the venue. So I had like more questions. Like the longer the tour went, the better I got at it.
Makes sense.
But I think the first week was like, I was like, oh shit, I'm way over my head. Like I can't do it.
Good that, credit to you that you quickly worked out what you need as a checklist.
Yeah. Because I don't know, like, and then I thought like in the last week, I was like, the fuck was I doing in the first week? Like, what? Like how I was just like a headless chicken, just like running around.
This is life, man. This is life. You learn every time how to do it a bit better. We were just actually, me and Hella were just out at Petri Kofik, in Petri, and we're gonna do that venue. So in September 12th, we're going to have open mic at Petri Kofik because we're not going to do Viimsi anymore. Our vision was not compatible with the vision of the new owners of Jussi, unfortunately. So we're going to go out there, and the guy's nice. He's open to that. They're like kind of big, like a Hiu pubi, but more family friendly. A little bit. So they're less pubby, a little bit more foodie. So like, because one of the good things, the very nice gentleman who runs Petri Kofik, and he had a concern. He was like, can you make the material a little bit more family friendly? Oh. No, I know. Sorry, champion. And like, it's not like we're trying to do dirty material, but I can't tell the comedians what to say and what not to say. It's not like there's rude stuff coming, but it's just not part. So it's cool. We worked some shit out. But he sort of looked at me and went, like at one stage, he's a nice guy, and he gave me a look like, he looked at me like no other event organizer has ever given me this list of detailed instructions before. I need lights here, I need a curtain here, I'm going to have sound, I'm going to brew this, he's like, yeah, we'll do it all, it doesn't matter. Like they clearly, he said they only kind of just survived the lockdown. Because they only opened in February, and then bam, lockdown. So he's very enthusiastic to help us out, but you could see at the end of 45 minutes of like points from me and Hella, he was like, look, whatever, we'll just do it. Don't worry about it. So yeah, it's good to be precise, huh?
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing it was about like summer tour, we find those like new places to do stand up.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Like we found like in Viljandi, there's like you could do like what was the thing we went to in Edinburgh? Fringe.
Yes.
Yeah, we could make like Viljandi Fringe because there's like three like in one place there's like three stages. You could do like 30 people, you could do like 80 people, or you can do like I don't know 600 people.
What's the 600? Because it
was an old theater.
Which room did you do?
We did the biggest one.
The biggest one. Okay.
Yeah, but we had to like keep it like less people there. I don't know if 600, maybe 600 is too much, but like 200-300, like definitely.
Okay, yeah,
because they had the balcony, but the balcony wasn't usable at that time. But the guy was like, "Yeah, we can make it work." But the only problem is like you can't do that in the winter time because they don't have any heat.
Okay, but does one of the rooms have heat though? I understood.
Maybe the smaller ones, one of those have.
Because I think we're trying to make one of those an open mic venue.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
that would be like so cool. And the other thing was like in Haapsalu, the new place Room.
Yeah,
that was really good. Like we fit like I don't know like 80 people.
I think we're trying to make Hella's making that open mic.
Yeah, that was super cool. Like I talked to Hendrik last night. He was like, "Hey, if you're going to do a tour, like what venues you would like to do?" And I was like, probably that one as well, because that was, yeah, they had such a good light as well. Because I was skeptical at first. I asked the girl, I was like, "Which lights do you have?" Because that's one of the things. Like we're really worried about the lighting all the time because everybody has LEDs. And the LEDs suck.
White and
yeah, it's not good. You look sick on stage. But yeah, they had like 2 LEDs and one of the lights like looked like a LED, but it was like like a professional spotlight. And they ordered it from like Germany or someplace.
Okay.
So it was like really
cool. So they're
cool.
Serious about events. They're putting some tech in.
Yeah, that was really cool. But it's the same venue we did last year. But they have like 2 places. It's like on the same street. There's a couple houses between them. But they're the same owners.
You used to do outside or something? Was it last year? Yeah.
Yeah, it was Hov. So Hov and Room are basically the same thing. That's what like I got it from. But yeah, Room is like indoor.
Are they just across the road from? Because that's the old place we used to do Uptech. Is that still there? Just across the road, or am I thinking of a different place? Maybe.
It could be. Dude, I'm not like I so vaguely remember Uptech.
Yeah, okay, it was like ages ago. And Haapsalu Uptech, not the Pärnu Uptech. That.
Yeah, and if I like at first I was like maybe it's the same room. I was just like looking around. It's kind of similar. Maybe it's this, and I was like getting super paranoid about it. I was like, why can't I understand? Like because the angles are kind of same, but I think it's a different room. It's definitely a different room. But yeah, it was so good.
Nice. So, okay, so you're starting off, you get your list of venues, you got to call them up.
Yeah.
Some we hadn't done before. I mean, okay, Voodoo we'd done before, sure. Where hadn't we performed before?
Pärnu, we had the
Kursal.
Kursal. Yes, Kursal. That was the first. First for us there, but it was good because like the owner is like old friend of Henrik's, and Henrik told me like, oh, like the first day I came to work for Comedy Estonia, the guy hit him up and was like, can you do a show here? So they were like really looking forward to us.
Yeah, nice.
And we got to do it like the second day right after our show. There was the Too Quick Start coming on.
Oh yeah.
So we had like, but we got to see like the level that they are at. Like their sound check was insane.
Yeah.
Like they were doing the setup the same day as we were. But yeah, they had like a couple of guys running around and like their tech was next level. They were like using, like when we do sound check, we just like talk into the mic. Some of us like walk around and like, okay, that's good. But they had those like some precise sounds. Like they were like just like some sounds like playing sounds like that. And the guy was just like,
Like test tones and stuff. They
Yeah,
can hear
yeah.
all the different highs, lows. Yeah.
It was really cool to see like that type of.
I guess that's
setup.
what a professional band does, you know.
Yeah,
they've
but
been
they
doing-
have so much more money, like so much more. Like they had like guys working there. When we finished, they had like there was a girl at the desk. They had like security guards. Like everything was like next level, and we were like, oh shit.
That's what I think. On one hand, yeah. On the other hand, like, do you remember how much to quick start ticket was?
No, probably a lot.
Because I wonder how much. Because even if like our ticket was €10, which is a lot for us, and we think about that, we're trying to like not rip off people and stuff and make it easy. But like, even if think about the money. Like, even if that ticket was €20, right? I don't know if it was for 20. Like, that band has all that equipment, all that pro shit. The sound guy, the door lady, the security, all the band members have got to get paid.
Yeah,
You know,
everybody
as
needs to
well.
get paid.
Like, all those people get to do it. I think bands have it worse. Like, even though band costs more for the general public,
yeah,
I think like it's not to say like we're profitable, but like there's so much more going on with a band.
oh yeah, definitely.
Like that it's harder to make money from that. I think.
because there's so many more people,
Yeah.
and the equipment's really expensive. Like all the instruments, everything. Yeah, doing a band is not easy. But I don't think we were like ripping off people with a €10
Not
ticket.
at all. No.
Because do you see the new event that came up from Kinoteater?
No.
Yeah, they're doing like a stand-up thing
Uh-huh.
where they're like in the event they wrote that there are like 4 anonymous guys going up on stage.
Okay.
And the ticket was €16. And I don't even know who I'm paying for. Like, I don't know who's coming up on the stage. I'm just supposed to be like, oh, Kinoteater, nice, €16, let's go.
Yeah, man. It's
Stand up.
It's like, because the way we're thinking about it is, we're very conservative, like very low on our ticket price. Always super low. Probably too low. People have been telling us, but I guess the difference with the way we look at stand-up is we'd rather have a lower ticket price, but just do way more shows.
Yeah, definitely.
Just do more and more and more. Where Kinoteater to do this one show, and that's or whatever 2 shows or whatever, and that's kind of it. And people will probably there is enough people to pay €16, but it's not like we could get away with €16. I don't think with the number of shows that we do.
Yeah, and the €10, like it changed a lot for us. Like before going up on stage, you just like take it so much more seriously, because in your mind it's like, okay, people paid €10 for it, so I better be good. Like I can't fuck this up. It's
a good way of thinking about it. Like I was even thinking like we have the extra 4 shows at Odeon. So we did the 4 shows at Odeon. They were really popular. So we put 4 more on. This episode will go up tonight. So it'll be this weekend, 4 more chances. And even that, I was thinking to myself, like, no one's doing like 4 shows. You know what I mean? Like if it's the Kinoteater or whoever else it might be, maybe not even in theater or stand-up, right? Like the rap guys are not putting on 4 shows in 2 days. Like even that, to just like straight up go, we're going to do all these shows is like something quite unique.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I saw like on TV there was like a piece about like Rakvere Theater, and they had like a lady there who was speaking, and she was like titled as an actor. And then she told like, the last time I was on stage was like 2018. And I was like, and you're an actor?
Yeah, how can you?
Like
stand-up comedians it's been an hour since they've been on the stage and they start questioning, I don't know anymore whether I've got it.
Yeah.
Or not. Yeah, one day. Yeah.
Yeah, it was super weird. I don't know if we're like more insecure about it or what, but it feels like. Because I remember like last year's when we had like €5 ticket, there were like times when we were like drinking during the day. We're like just I'm go up and fuck it, I'm doing my set and it's got I'll get some laughs, no problem. But this time it was like I had like I think like I didn't drink. Only one time I drank before going on stage, and the other times I just had like 2 beers a night.
Sure.
Because it's too much stress.
I think it might be inevitable with our situation that like, okay, last year, sure, you were fucking around. It was a smaller thing, €5 tickets. Hey, and like for all the lower pressure that you want in your own mind, there's still more people coming this year. So like, yeah, we did since the start of the lockdown. So people understand, June was 25 shows for Comedy Estonia. And we thought, oh, that's a lot of shows. That's almost a show a day. Wow, aren't we doing a lot of events? But then July, when you add up all of your summer tour shows and then all the mics that we did when you guys were away, we had like Dissident Live, we had a whole bunch of extra shit, 52 shows.
That's a lot.
That Comedy Estonia presented in the month of July. And it's so many shows. Yeah. And I love it. I love it. I love some nights I got 4 shows a night. There was that Thursday. There was the 2 at Odeon. Then there was our VMC mic. And then we were presenting the Kid Strange mic at Naga Naga on the same night. You guys had 3 shows in a night at fucking Vusu. In Vusu. Probably we had another mic going on. So some nights we got 4 shows running. And someone, I think it was Dan told me, but I guess maybe you guys were talking about it, that like right now in the world, Estonia might be the best place to be a stand-up comedian.
Probably.
Like where else can you get 52 shows for a nation of 1 million people? Maybe there's some yahoos around America still running something, I don't know, in the great whole, huge nation of America.
Yeah. It was, because they're doing those like what do you call it? Like drive-in.
Oh,
shows.
drive-in. It's all rat shit. Oh, it's so...
Yeah, I don't know. But then again, I listened to Bert Kreischer and he was like, oh, that's like the best. I love it.
Yeah, he loved it? Huh.
Yeah. He talked about it in like 2 Bears, 1 Cave. And then he went to the... he was co-hosting the Fighter and the Kid. Okay. And then he told it there as well that he loves it because he said that it's like tailgating.
Yeah, okay.
Like
people are wild.
Yeah, like the show starts at 9. People roll up at 7, start drinking, put up their like couches and stuff. So I don't know.
Okay, that maybe. Okay.
Yeah, but then again, I wouldn't like when I saw like those pictures that Sloss put up.
Yeah.
Like it was raining.
Yeah, the UK one is like, don't get out of your fucking car. Don't. All right, if they're tailgating and there are a bunch of yeehaw Americans in the back with their couches or their pickups and shit. All right,
that might be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Sloss ones, those looked like terrible. I was just like thinking, dude, I would just not do stand-up rather than do that.
And I mean, yeah, how did the UK get to that and we didn't? I guess there's more money for those guys on the line there, more bigger industry that has to try and do something. But I guess also for us, like, because the Estonian government dealt with it pretty well, it was like we could see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like where there's no light at the end of the tunnel for United Kingdom. They were about to, on August 1, comedy clubs were going to be allowed to open and run on August 1, which was 3 days ago. In the last 24 hours before Boris Johnson went, cancel culture, cancelled it. He said, nah, the infection rate's gone back up. So yeah, we've had 2 solid months of shows. And the United Kingdom is still like, we don't know what the hell's going on. So maybe that does make you more desperate.
Yeah, definitely. Because we had our own, like we had like 1 show canceled right now. Yeah.
Oh, just Monday in Comtili.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Comtili has always that was going to be the first show back. Like that's 2 months after we started performing. So they're the most conservative. How to say? Like we always rely on the venue to guide us.
Yeah.
And it's really obviously about the rules of the government, but then it's about what the venue feels comfortable. And they were the most worried. So yeah, when fucking 3 idiots go to Vabank and fire up, and yeah, that was enough for them to say, no, we don't feel comfortable. So okay, fair enough.
But then like Naive got it as well.
Oh really?
Yeah. Because they moved their location. They went to
that boat now.
Yeah, they're on the boat now. Yeah, they had an infection there, and I think they had like, I read it on the news, I can't really remember, it was like 162 like close contacts.
Okay.
So that's a lot of people for close contacts. Yeah. So yeah, Tartu might be like the next Kuressaare,
Yeah, right.
Because but yeah, it was also like Poetic like reacted so quickly. That was awesome.
So all this happened yesterday on Monday during the day, somewhere, I'm in the office with Hella. It's somewhere around midday that she's like, Com Tilly are out. And then I think, as I understand, all you guys went, can we have a mic?
Yeah, because I wrote to Hella on Sunday. I was just like, is Comedy happening? Like, because I wasn't sure. I was just like, a lot of stuff's going on the news, and like I had my like mother tell me, and my grandpa's living in Tartu, and my grandpa was like, when I said to him like last week, I was like, oh yeah, on Monday I'm coming to Tartu. He was like, no, like don't come. It's not good. And then I wrote to Hella. I was like, yeah, can we have like some other mic in Tallinn? And she wrote to me, yeah, we can't really do that. Like, we cancel those and then we do the new one. It'll look weird. But yeah, luckily, yeah, everything like...
Right, so I think she called up Botik down in Copley, and he's, the guys down there are always up for it. Yeah. So yeah, within whatever the next hour, we had the event up. And did you go to that show last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, how many people were in their room?
The seats were full.
Oh, great.
So yeah, it was like we all did like Instagram stories and stuff like that, except Ari, that guy. That guy, like 5 minutes before the show, he was like, I should have done something. But yeah, it was all good. We had like, it was a nice crowd and everything.
But what you're kind of hinting on there is like the way that we sell the shows, and indeed, I guess what you can tell your PR like lecturer and professor and all of this is that like it's less and less, not less and less, but it's less about the Comedy Estonia main channels, the main Facebook. Yes, that's important. Instagram. Yes, that's important. But our power is really coming now from all of your guys, all of you guys with your individual accounts.
All the personalities, basically. Yeah, because like Ari has like ridiculous amount of followers.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like 13K or some shit like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so like if he puts up a story, it's
between you and then Mikael, okay, other night Sander, Daniel, when you all do it, and then Paikas Janku did the same, all of that. That's the way shows get sold now. Not just because it used to be 1 or 2 years ago, we put the Facebook event up, we publicized the Facebook event, put some money to boost that ad or something like that on Facebook, and that's how a show got sold.
Yeah, but that's I think that like Facebook's so much slower because it has so much other stuff going on there. So when you put it up there, like the time when people get it is like so far away. But stories are so quick on Instagram.
Right, because there's no, I think, more or less, it seems, no algorithm involved.
Yeah, it's just like you put it up, it gets to the top. And when you click on it, people see it. It's super quick way to, because I think we did like stories, like, I don't know, like 2 hours before a show or some shit like that.
And boom, people come. Yeah, it's amazing. And people change their day like 2 hours before. I ain't changing nothing about my day 2 hours before nothing, right? But then people are coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the more I think about how to sell shows, or the more I think about how to like just get your shit out there online, the more I'm drawing the difference between an algorithm and not an algorithm. And yeah, we're all online these days. Like the more you're putting yourself at the fate of the algorithm, the worse it gets. So like Facebook is like straight up algorithm. It's just whether you get shown on Facebook is really, do the Facebook gods look down on you and decide today that you have made a nice enough offering to them? Have you prayed at the correct time? Have you done all the correct things that the gods want you to do? And if you've done that, then maybe they'll pump you through the algorithm when they feel like it.
Yeah.
Where... yes, in Instagram, there's still an algorithm going on. But as you said, a story is just, it's more like in sequence. Like it's in sequence of your friends who you follow, and then boom, 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 you see their 3 stories that they posted today.
Yeah, it seems more personal because, like Facebook is like, there's so many like sites and stuff, like not like real people doing the posting. Not like a person doing the posting, but it's like a company or some stuff like that, because like I think like Facebook is better for companies and Instagram is better for persons.
Makes sense. That even for and it's I think Facebook is a platform in decline in general. which then says, well, what the fuck do companies do? And it's hard because I think on Instagram, on Twitter, you've got to develop a voice. And companies need to develop this voice or this sort of personality almost for their company. And it's something we've struggled a little bit with Comedy Estonia because you guys, well, with all the comedians, we've naturally, that's why they're dominant. That's why all your comedian accounts are dominant because you've naturally got your own voices. Where the Comedy Estonia one is just pictures and, maybe here's come to this event. So it's never popped as much.
It's not as personal.
Right, which makes sense. I'm totally understood. But
some companies do it like Raw, like the company that does like rolling papers and stuff like that.
Sure, right.
They have I don't know if he's like
I think I know the one you mean, because there's a guy in it, right?
Yeah.
Because they take someone and make it about a person.
Yeah, and the same guy is now on TikTok as well.
Huh.
But since TikTok doesn't, it's like super like kids oriented. Like he can't put up like weed and stuff like that. Like on Instagram he's like, oh, it's good for smoking weed and stuff like that. But on TikTok he does it with tea. He just has tea. And everywhere where there's like green bags, there's like written tea over it. And then he's like showing it with tea, and that's all right.
Yeah.
So he's like figured out the way to do it in that market. But yeah, it's not.
TikTok's about to go away anyway.
Probably.
Donald Trump's bringing the hammer down on that shit. If you're an influencer on TikTok, well,
yeah, but then again, it'll just be banned in the States.
Well, yeah, but then Estonia. I've even heard Estonia talking about banning it because we do everything that America wants to do. If they're going to do it, then maybe even diplomatically they're putting pressure.
Maybe.
Like, hey, you can't have the Huawei phone. Get rid of TikTok, and then we can talk. Right?
Well, yeah, because TikTok is weird. Because like today, I got they were just serving up to me like flat Earth stuff, and I'm like, dude, like calm down with the flat Earth. But it was just like it was a post about flat Earth, and I scrolled a little bit down, again flat Earth. I'm like, I'm not following anybody who's putting up flat Earth. I
got nonstop Trump. On Instagram, not suggested, like search with the little magnifying glass.
Yeah.
Non-stop Trump tweets. Like, I don't know, did I once look at one or something? And now like non-stop, unless it just goes white guy, 40 years old, don't give a shit about location. I get that. But going back to how we're selling, I think this year, my observation of you guys was, first of all, there's, as you said, like how many? 35 shows? Was it how many?
33, I think.
33 shows.
But that was like counting in the extra shows we did. Like
absolutely,
we did, yeah. One in Tartu and 2 in Vasu.
Right, and you did 3 shows a night in Vasu.
Yeah, and in Tartu as well. We had 3. And then, in Haapsalu we did an extra show as well.
Nice. So there's, and even without those extra shows, that's still a butt ton of shows.
Yeah.
And I think as we kind of ended up at that because after Corona, we were going bananas. We were just like, shows. Let's do shows.
Yeah.
And then, eventually you were like, oh, we've actually got to do this 3-week tour.
Yeah. Dan told me the tour actually started right after the lockdown.
Yeah.
Right
okay.
after that's
June
when the
1.
tour actually started.
Because on June 1, I was all like, yo, Hella, can we do a mic at midnight on June 1? And she's like, wait till 8 p.m. And I'm like, fine. I was like, come on. Let's do it exactly at the minute we're allowed to do it.
Yeah.
But so I think it's a factor of, so the shows were all full. So where did this PR come from? I think it's a factor of that, like we were saying before, that even if you guys had wanted to just be €5, I'm drunk half the time, I'm just saying some funny things, it doesn't reflect with how much more popular you guys are overall. Ari is just a fucking superstar these days.
Yeah.
Mikkal's gone up. Sander is always going up. That you're so much more popular to begin with. So even if you want to be like, no, we're doing I'm drunk as fuck on stage, it doesn't matter. People are still going to notice. So there was that. So there's the rise in how well known all of you guys are, which was the one factor. I think the other factor that played into it was that there's no other entertainment right now.
Yeah. And also the way we picked out the cities, because we were thinking about next year we should definitely do Rakvere during summer tour, because the visual shows were the line was literally from Ukulele to Ågert, and like luckily I had like I wasn't at the door during those periods, but yeah, some of us had to like walk to the like middle of the line and be just like, hey guys, this is the last person who gets in. All of you just like, sorry.
You're not a popular person when you got to do that.
Yeah. And then the owner as well, because he runs a venue in Rakvere as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was like we were backstage sitting there, and he was just like thinking about it. Was like, yeah, I think like if we do like Buena Vista as well.
Oh, he runs Buena Vista. It's the same guy. Is it? Oh, right on. Yeah.
Or I think like maybe it's Buena Vista is maybe run by like two guys, but he's one of the guys definitely. And yeah, we could do. Yeah, that's what he thought. Like there's so many people from Rakvere coming that we just get too much overflow.
Right.
Because Vasu was like really close to Tallinn, really close to Rakvere, and people like to spend their summers there because it's super nice. And especially when Rakvere's people are like, okay, they're not coming here, let's go to Vasu.
Right. And no, and that's the thing. Like no. Because usually on any given typical summer, you can go and you can see, I don't know, Koit's coming to town, and the next night Tanalpada's there, and then the week after it's going to be 2 quick starts there, and there's going to be bands and entertainment, and this is typically summer's a great time for entertainment. Yeah. And this year, well, at least by July, it just seems like most of the bands weren't out. There's a few, okay, we're opening for 2 quick start.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't really know what's going on with the bands and the general entertainment. Were they just not ready? You know,
I mean, yeah,
they didn't want to do the shows, or they couldn't get them organized, or they worried about it. And it just seemed like no one was out there doing shows. And it just seemed like we were just getting because they were like, fuck, there's nothing for us to do. We'll come to Comedy Estonia show.
Yeah. Because and the other thing we could have done would be like to be like next year. That's one thing also we talked about, like maybe just to have like 1 week in Vasu. Yeah. Because the room is so small. There's loads of people coming through Vasu, so you could definitely do.
I love it. I wonder if we're going to do that, like how to regulate that if you're doing 2 shows a night for a week, which is cool. Like how do people get some, but there's still only 50 or 80 people in the room or something. Like how to ensure that you can get into that show. Like there's nothing to stop you. Like there's nothing to stop like loads of people coming one night and then getting turned away.
Yeah.
But this is a perennial problem for us, like how to regulate this. But then again, usually when we let it go and there's enough shows, then it just works out.
Yeah, you
somehow.
could just be like, hey, we're here during the whole week. Just like come next night.
Yeah.
So I think that'll work out. And also, what was really cool about this summer tour was that we went to like a couple of gyms as well. Like we were like working out.
Oh right, nice.
Yeah,
nice,
because it was so much better for the body.
Yeah.
Just because like we're like I don't know, because if it would have been like 3 weeks of just like waking up at like 12, then just like getting some food, then going to do the setup, then doing 2 shows, then going right back to sleep, it would be, I don't know, hard.
Did you guys get at any stage, like, you said that you weren't drinking that much, but was it like in the first days there was some drinking and then you sort of pulled yourselves around and then?
The first day was like, I think like right after Up Late, like the tour hadn't started yet. And we were like heavy drinking, but not me, because I was I had to be the driver. So but Tauri was like he drank so much. It was like he was so drunk, like we were like on the balcony and he just like kept on like spitting on the floor, and everyone Sander was like really mad at him. Like at one point, Sander had to go for a walk. He was just like, I'm gonna hit this guy if I don't calm down. He was like piss drunk. But yeah, and it was the first night, and then like yeah, I think like all the other guys who were like drinking the next morning was like really hard for them. So they were like in their minds, they were like, okay, we have like 3 weeks, so we can't drink that much. We just like yeah, we had like a sauna beer or some shit like that.
Sure. Was there on this tour? Was there the Sander talk moment?
Yeah.
There.
There's always like every summer tour
Yeah.
there's a Sander talk moment.
Explain this.
So basically, since like everybody's looking forward to summer tour and it's a lot of fun, but then like Sander is like I can't really say like he's like a father to us, but he's like he always keeps his hand on the pulse.
Sure, he's a leader. I mean, he
Yeah.
is a leader for the group,
Yeah, definitely.
both creatively, but he's as much as he doesn't want to admit it, or like he tries not. But he is like a what to say, like a yeah, I guess
like a
leader.
role model.
Role model, yeah, leader, and he sets a high standard as well.
Yeah, like extremely high standards. And then yeah, he always like every summer tour he has this talk where he's like, "Hey, we're not in it for the fun and for the booze. Like the first thing is the shows." But this year, yeah, he did it like earlier, and since the last year's talk was like really like I think like most of us can remember it because it was like it really hit home last year. But yeah, this year it was shorter. He just said like, "Hey, we're in it for the shows. Let's give people like good shows. That's like our main objective. The fun comes after that." And he wasn't drinking before the sets as well. He was like constantly being like, "Yeah, I know alcohol is not good for me before the set. It doesn't help." And yeah, but it is usually like that because it really toughens the timing. When you're drunk, it's so hard to listen to the crowd. That's from my experience. So yeah, like the more sober you are, the better it gets.
I think that's maybe, yeah, I guess a side of behind the scenes that people don't kind of know. I mean, you know, if you don't know, you don't know. Like just that you just go like, oh, they're having fun, and you might imagine how comedians are and what entertainers are when they're traveling around. There's a stereotype they're drinking and doing that, but yeah, Sander he's a good role model in that way, that he's always, I mean, he can be, you know, drunk like anybody, right? He can be partying like anybody. It's not like he's a prude or he's some Puritan or something like that.
But that comes after the shows. Yeah, because it's like work first, then the fun.
He takes his responsibility seriously, which is a good, as, you know, a partner to him, he's a good partner to have because he sets a good role model in terms of he's great creatively, he's doing great stuff, but as a, you know, be serious, set things up, be precise, and then, you know, party after.
Yeah, and he doesn't like he's not worried about saying something shit to you. That's also good because like sometimes you really need it because you're in your mind, you're like in some other place, you're just like thinking, okay, I'm doing well, this is getting better, and then he comes like, no, it's trash. Just like listen to your set, it's trash. And then you listen to your set and you're like, holy shit, he's right.
Yeah, he's tough. Like, but it's good. Like and on the other hand though, that means if you get a compliment from Sander, you remember it.
The best.
Dude, if I get a compliment from Sander, I remember it. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, because if it's somebody who's like constantly giving you compliments, yeah, you lose the reality check part of it. That's why he's really cool.
We need balance as well. We can't have a whole team full of Sanders.
Oh yeah,
you know,
that would
tough
be
love dads.
too toxic.
Yeah,
one's enough.
Yeah, one's enough, right?
Yeah, but this year it was fun because like everybody got like their jab on Sander as well. Because yeah, we were we had like you filmed it. You filmed the double set that Toots and
sure, yeah. The Kaur and Toots. So Kaur Tora and Margus Toots did some at open mic in Ukskoik, did some weird double act where they were both on the stage at once and they were jumping around and doing some weird shit. And
that was so funny because Hela showed it to us and we were like, at first it was like really, it was so weird to watch it. Like and Sander's like gaze on it was so fun because you could see like him dying inside. He was like, all these years, I worked for it, and now they give me this. And then when they did like they did a line on like Sander and Ari and Mikael, but the Sanders line was so funny because like they said like Sander Ego was more like Sander Eczema or like something like really weird. But what Mikael heard was like Sander X. And then we kept on calling him Professor X. And then we just like kept on rolling with it. It was super funny. Yeah, we got like so many inside jokes that it was like after those 3 weeks, it was like when some of our girlfriends came to visit. Like I remember like Rama's girlfriend came like in the 2nd week or something like that. And she was like not having it because we were calling each other like assholes and stuff like that. Hey asshole, what's up asshole? And like we're so deep into our references that yeah, they gave us a good reality check that we're like drifting off.
Because it's like I mean it's literally comedy camp. It's comedy camp where you're doing 2 to 3 shows per day. Every day, pack up, next show, do. Yeah. Because the thing that, like you were saying, like we were talking before about the different groups who might be doing stand-up. There's the Kino Theater doing 1 show for 15 euros. Like, it's just not stand-up. It's just not like, is it a person standing there with a microphone? Yes. But is it the way that we know great stand-up gets made by rehearsing and learning lines and then just doing one performance? No, great stand-up comes from night after night, show after show, doing nothing else but comedy. And that's what you guys were doing.
Yeah, you gotta like really work on it. And that's a good thing as well about this year's summer tour. Although it was like really tiring, but then again, like after the summer tour, I felt like the same way I felt before the lockdown. Because I remember like the first shows after the lockdown, I felt terrible.
Yeah, they were
like
weird.
On stage, it was weird to be on the stage, weird telling jokes. I wasn't like, even if I did well, like inside I didn't feel I felt something was off. Like I'm not feeling the way I'm supposed to be feeling on stage. And then I got I looked at in a way like athletes look like you're either in shape or you're not. And after the tour, we got like really in shape. Like the comedy muscle was good. Everybody killed. We had like for the first time, I think one of the filmings, like the second filming, was so like everyone did so well that you could. I know that like some of us did better sets the first time, but you could put up like the whole summer tour as a like special. I don't know.
Sure, because everyone was happy with their set. Even Dan, who's never had a good filming before.
Yeah. Oh, he killed. He murdered so hard. Oh, it was so fun to see because he was hosting the first one, and I know how like hard he is on himself because for some reason he wants to be like Sander so much, but then like Sander's giving him shit, and then he's like giving himself like extra shit. And all the pressure was like building up. And I think like after the second set, like, he told us that he puked. Yeah. And he went right like home. He just like, he came off stage, was like, this is the one. and just like went home.
Probably went home to jerk off.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah!
But that was like, I was so happy for him because he did like that set was so wild.
Right, because it's pressure to film. You've got the camera, like, you've got to make sure. And Dan is, maybe more than any of us, like, very up and down. And I mean that with respect. Like, some nights, he's not but when Dan's feeling it, he is feeling it.
Yeah.
And it's his job to, he's clearly got the stuff that it takes to be a great comedian. But his challenge is to be consistent and to work on what makes him consistent. So it's been tough for him to have a filming. But this time, lightning struck well.
Yeah, because like during those two filmings, like between those, we had like a walk together, and he was just like telling me some stuff like I'm like super nervous, and I was just like, man, don't like think about your set, just be in the moment, just like enjoy it. It's your time, everything going great. Like the last couple of days, you've killed it. Like don't stress about it. Yeah, he did like that was like one of my favorite sets.
Well, it's good advice, and it can happen because you've just done up to that point 30 shows in a row.
Yeah.
It's harder to be in the moment and to just feel it when you've just written the material, you're not exactly sure of it, you don't really know the ups and the downs, you haven't got enough tags in it. But when you've just done 30 shows in 3 weeks.
Yeah. You know the set like inside out.
Yeah.
There's no problem. Even if you like riff, you're so familiar with the set. Like we had like some open mics between the tour. And it was hard to do those mics because before I'm going on stage, I'm going into my mindset. But now I'm like rehearsing, like thinking about my summer tour set, and I'm like, no, not this set, not this set. I'm doing a new set because it's so locked into you. Because like each and every day, you're just like you're working on it, and that's what makes good stand up. That's why you can't do the. I'm practicing at home and then I'm going up on stage.
It doesn't. It's not.
Well, it could work, but you gotta be really good, like really fire. Like Dan told me, like he thinks that Ricky Gervais doesn't do open mics.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You've got to be top of your game.
Yeah, but he's like, no, we don't have anyone in Estonia who's close to him.
Right.
He's so funny.
Sure. When you're a top level pro who's been doing it for 20 years.
Yeah, worldwide.
Yeah, you can write some stuff and it'll probably be pretty great. Sure.
Yeah. You got to work yourself up to that point. So yeah.
I think sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, just like some people like wrote to me during the tour, like, oh, I'm trying to do my set as well, and I want to hit up one of your open mics and stuff, and then they asked me so specific questions about their sets, and I was like, it's your first time.
Yeah, just do it. Just do it.
Just do it. Get it over with, and then like think about it. Or
everyone's overthinking it.
Yeah, you can't kill your first set.
Yeah.
That's not just happening.
Yeah. The first one might go all right because you've got the very first set, you have a beautiful naivety.
Yeah.
That you'll never have again. That you'll never get. Like, you're like, oh, this is what it's going to be like, and all that. And you're so naive that the first time actually usually goes pretty well for most people. Yeah. And then it's the second and third and fourth where it tanks for them because they remember what it was like. They're trying to adjust, think like, oh, if I and they're overthinking the whole thing. And then, you got to just work yourself back out of that thing through experience.
Yeah, because the first time is also because it's I think like the first time you go up on stage, since you don't have the experience from before, you're so yourself. Because the moment you hit the stage, you're in shock because that's why I think like all the like other performers, like actors and like singers who've like done open mics, and you see when they go up on stage, they're like in like weird character mode. That's because they don't get the shock from being on stage, and that's why those sets are normally like when they do it the first time, it's kind of weird because they're not themselves.
There is, because we're expected to be ourselves or some version of it or something. Yeah. I wanted to just going back to the thing that you were doing this organization on the summer tour for your university. I wanted to just like your thoughts about, because I have this kind of problem with university assignments, and let's relate it to the classic university group assignment. Which is what I know this wasn't a group assignment, not really, but here's where I'm going with it, is that most people have just terrible memories of university group assignments. Everybody has that. 4 people are jammed together, one person's never seen again, one person is apparently overbearing and controlling, and other people don't know what to do. And the reason this happens, I believe, is because when you're just jammed together in a group, there's no structure given to you. No one's a project manager. Nobody's this role. And if you're in a workplace or really any group of people ever, you have some structure.
Yeah.
Definitely if you're in a workplace, well, this is the project manager and this is the new person and this is that. And you've got these defined roles. You've got a hierarchy. And okay, then you can work in that. Nobody wants to take charge because people don't want to be overbearing. So then you don't get project management, or someone doesn't understand it. So they become like this mini dictator in the group. And that's why I think university group assignments are just the worst shit ever and completely unrealistic example.
Yeah, it's not like thoroughly thought through, because it could be like, it's not so hard to be like, hey, this one person from your group, he's responsible for it. He's responsible, she's responsible. Like the teacher could put like somebody in charge of the group. And then like you could like mix it up during the whole learning phase, so everybody gets to play a little role. But yeah, when it's just like people jam together,
it could be. I think, sure, I see where you're going with that. That, okay, what if the professor or the tutor then provided that structure? But then you're starting to get into the fact that, like, I mean, just to say to someone, you're the project manager, okay, is a big help. But then it's like, what does that person really do? How do they really do their things? It's like it's like a whole course in itself just to learn how to work in a hierarchy, just how to learn to work in a group and how to be the leader, how to be a bit more of a follower. So where I was going with all of this is that you had, as, let's say, project manager, which is, one sort of leader in this group, you had a very interesting group to work with.
yeah.
So you've got a group. First of all, you all know each other very well. This is a great positive. Secondly, it's a group that already basically knows how to do their shit. Like, more or less. You still need guidance, still need project management, still need leadership, but it's not like you're just a group of, like, not just a group of friends who, this is a group of comedians who, like, we can walk into any venue and have that shit set up in 30 minutes.
Yeah, definitely, because it would have been harder to be a project manager for like Värskeveri.
Okay.
Just because those guys haven't done as many shows, so they might not know what to do. But yeah, when we arrived someplace, like everybody knows what to do because we've been setting up shows or like for the last like.
Yeah, so we kind of know someone's got to be on sound, someone's got to be on light, chairs, and thankfully in our group, like, it's not like, I don't think we walk in and go, Sander, you're doing the lights, Carl, you're doing the sound. Sometimes. Yeah. But often we just sort of naturally, no one's doing chairs, cool, I'll do chairs. Sure. Or Carl's here, Carl's doing tech because Carl's on the sound, he knows the sound best. But no one's doing lights, all right, I'll go talk and see what's going on with lights, But what you've then got, what I thought was interesting is that, so you're project manager, but you're not their boss.
Yeah.
In the way. And what you're also doing is you are being a leader of this summer tour, but the people you are leading essentially are your seniors. You would say Sander, Ari, Mikael. If those guys say something about how it should be, then it carries a lot of weight. So what you've got here is a leadership example but you're leading people who are more senior than you.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting circumstance.
Yeah, because like in the group, I'm not a leader. Like I'm the young guy who's like, hey, pick up the balls.
You're literally the work experience kid here. Literally that, right? And then you've got to lead these people who are more senior than you, who can often have very strong opinions on things, all working together well, but you've got to navigate that. Yeah. How was that? Did that occur to you? Was it ever like a conscious thought for you?
I mean, it was good for me because I already know everybody's like persona or personalities, so I know who to go to when we need like quick decisions. I'm not gonna, like, no disrespect, but I'm not gonna hit up Ardo, but I'm probably gonna hit up Sander.
Sure.
Like if we need a quick decision, it's going to be Sander, and if it's a group decision, then I'll hit up everybody. So that was like easier, I think. Whereas like if it would have been like some of my course mates doing the same thing, it would have been harder for him to understand the group dynamic. So yeah, but it was hard to the part that was hard was like, yeah, sometimes like I'm not used to making that decision, but now I gotta make it myself, like some decisions, and then it's super weird to be like, oh, okay, I'll do it myself, and then I hope that everybody likes it, or I'm gonna get tons of shit for it.
Yeah.
Because yeah, everybody's a comic, and I got roasted so hard. But it was, yeah, I think like, yeah, all in all, since I know the guys, it was good because I was just basically hanging out with my friends,
Sure.
and I had a bit different experience than the years before. But last year I organized like one city, so that helped me a little bit. I had like some experience, but the whole tour is way different. And we had some mix-ups where when I said something to somebody, then like the tour bus thing, like I remember, like I remembered Sander saying, "Okay, I got the bus." He's organizing it, and then like right up to the last minute, like Sander wrote to me, "Hey, do we have the bus?" And in my mind, I'm like, it's like you were supposed to get the bus.
Yeah.
And now I'm writing to him like, no, I don't have the bus. And he's like, well, then I'll do it. And then we got this bus like last minute, which was like, I think it was the same bus like last year.
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like 2001 Volkswagen. And that broke down a couple of times, and we had so much problems for it, and like everybody's giving shit to that bus. And then Sandra's like, yeah, well, we got it last minute. And so that was like a weird place to be because, for some reason, I thought about like, because it was like my assignment to do, like the best lesson I got from it was like, you always have to be up to date what everybody else is doing. Like if somebody's given an assignment, you always check up on them, like always, what's going on. And that's the thing, like that I didn't do sometimes. But yeah, all worked out.
I think
best.
It's interesting what you're talking about that, because this sort of touches on the idea of micromanagement. Now, some people might hear what you just said and think like, well, if you're a project manager, isn't that a bit of micromanagement? Right? That if I give people duties and I always need to be checking up on them, isn't that, and we kind of generally know that micromanagement isn't a good thing. We want to be a bit more detached, have a bit more decentralized command here. But I think that micromanagement, from my experience, is not a dirty word in particular. You need micromanagement when you're starting off with someone or when someone needs help. And that the leader then has to be very conscious, because you don't want to micromanage forever. Yeah. You want to give that person progressively more and more responsibility, because the main way that someone learns is giving them responsibility, which means they will fuck some stuff up. They will get more things right. They realize they've got responsibility now and they rise to the occasion. So at first, when you're dealing with people, you're micromanaging, or you're a little bit more on top of them. You're like, you on top of that? You on top of that? And you might actually be following their list of tasks or their projects, what they're doing, and going, hey, what about this one? What about this one? But then as the, I don't know, days, weeks, whatever the scope of the project might be, as that goes on, and they, every time you've asked them, they're on top of everything, or they're more and more on top of it. Then as the leader, you can start to back off and be like, cool, they got it. They got it.
Yeah, that's the one thing, like, I think that was weird for me at first, but then I got it down, and it was good, because sometimes people forget things. It's so normal, and especially when like all the other comics, they weren't as involved with they're just like, like Mika's like, if there's a show, I'm there. he's that guy. So but like when we needed to do those posters and stuff like that, like he saw that I was like that we were like running out of time, because it was like getting really close, and he just asked me like, hey, like, do we really need like an actual designer doing this? Because it's quite easy Photoshop, I can do it. Like he offered help. That was super cool, and we got it done like way easier. less money, and like we didn't have to spend any money. He just like whipped it up, and yeah, it was good.
So I guess now you know for next time, because then that's how you learn the team. Is if you were just another comedian in the crew, you might not really consciously realize, oh, Mikael has those skills. Not like pro designer, but he can get it done. And next time like, okay, yo, man, go make some more of them posters that you know how to do.
Yeah, and then the first week I was really feeling down on myself. Because I realized like I thought like, okay, when the tour starts, like most of my job is like done. But no, it's like every day like I have to like we wake up like everybody else is just like relaxing and stuff. No, I gotta contact like the venue manager, be like, okay, we're there at that time, and like set it up. So yeah, that was a new experience, and then I felt like really down on myself. And then Henrik told me like, he was like, man, like you've done it for like so like the time you've done this job is like so small, like you're bound to fuck up. Don't stress about it, just like do your best job. Like he told me like, yeah, when he came, he didn't understand shit.
That's true, and it's something actually. It's something I have to work on, because Henrik probably had it hard. One skill that I've lacked in the past and I need to change is that when we had like completely new employees, I wasn't very good at mentoring them. Okay. I was just too in my own zone, and I was like too like, yeah, we do. Well, you don't know this shit. And like, I think Hella basically had to train Henrik at first. Yeah. And I wasn't that good at just sit. Yeah, like these little things that I just said, like, okay, at first you're going to have to micromanage someone. I wasn't in the right zone. So I was just like, I got no time to fucking look after this. And so Hella trained him more or less. So that's what made his first, I don't know, shows, weeks, whatever, more difficult, because I didn't provide enough leadership to him. I think I've changed my ways. I think I've figured a lot of shit out, especially after lockdown, about what's important. So yeah, those first ones are, but that's what you need. I mean, growing a leader is this balance of, I mean, you got to give responsibility, and when you give responsibility, that's how somebody grows. That's how, I know I've said this example a couple of times, but really the time that struck me the most was, again, I don't know, somewhere in the 4 or 5 years ago when I stumbled across this, was then we had this guy who was doing shows, and Sanders said he was all right, and Sanders says, this guy's really good. He's going to be really good in the future, but he'd just show up and do his thing and then float around. This guy's name is Mikael Meimer. Mm-hmm. And he would just, like Mikael, he's always there, right, in his style. But even still, he hadn't quite worked out the whole system and how shows work. And it was his idea to do Up Late, the concept of, which is an international concept that we pinched. Yeah. It's called what is it? Set list in other countries. And we pinched it and we just gave it a new name. And Mikael said he wanted to run it. And I really think, just my observation of him about when he, by having that responsibility of running his own show, he learned a lot. And he got, I don't know, on the path a lot more just from that one thing. Yeah.
It's like when... That's what when I think about like when we set up shows, like I really like to stack this, like put up chairs and stuff, because then I'm part of the process. Like when I go up on stage, I know that I did like the chairs are the way they're supposed to be. Like everybody's sitting comfortably. I feel so much better when I know what's going on. In terms of like on the other hand, when I would be like just like walk there, go up on stage, do my set. Go home. That would be, for me, it would be super weird, and that's why I like the experience.
I think it's weird. It's weird in the context of us, because we have this culture. I think that wouldn't be, or maybe it's something that, let's say, a comedian in the United Kingdom wouldn't get, because there isn't as many chances for them to, I guess, run their own show. They certainly don't have a tight-knit group like we do, who are all killers, who are not only killers, but actually are personally invested, because we're like personally invested in this country, personally invested in Comedy Estonia. So we all want to, even Ari will be there doing some stuff to help, in his way. Yeah. Where if you're in the United Kingdom, you wouldn't have that close-knit group. So you would just go to a show.
Yeah, you get like more experience out of it. That's why I liked organizing the tour like this. But like to think about like doing this like all the time, no way. Because it's too like then I'm drifting off. Like if I'm doing that much of like organizing, I can't actually focus on the set because that's what I felt like during the first days. Like when we were in Varu, like looking back, I was like, I'm not happy with those sets. Like not at all. I'm just like, I wasn't ready for doing sets at that time because my mind was on the organizing part of it.
It's the context switching is a word for it. That it's, I think people, even if you're just sitting at home doing your work every day, people don't quite grasp the time and the effort that context switching takes. That I'm doing one thing, I don't know, I'm trying to think. If I'm doing some task, writing some email or working on some project, and then I have to switch and work on a new project. Because all of us are these days zip-zang, checking this email, checking that message, zip-zang, here's another notification, Slack's popping up, boom, 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 boom. All of those changes involve a small cost that when you change from one thing to the other. And I definitely know there's a huge, to go from the organizer who's really worried about things and making sure I've talked to the venue, I've done that, I've got my checklist, to then context switch into being the artist who's carefree and just, it's really hard, man.
Yeah.
I'm even, like today I haven't done much work. Like I'm trying to partition it off at least into half-day blocks and better is full day. So I've only done a couple of little emails and just kept things going today. Yesterday, I killed the office work. Tomorrow, I'm going to kill the office work. Thursday, I might relax again. We'll do Paranu and like that. It's hard to just, be really intense, set up a show, and then boom, okay, it's time to go do that show.
Yeah, but that's why like our group is so good because I remember like during like some point like in the beginning of the tour, Ari started doing like fist pumping me before like going up on stage, and he was just like saying, "We're doing this because we love stand-up.
Nice.
Like we love stand-up, and that's what you love to do." And that like kind of helped switch the focus. And then I started to like later on. Then it was like when we did all the setup, I just like went for a little walk. To just like reprogram myself.
Right, you learn little techniques that you might need to.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. Yeah, you've got all that stuff. Yeah, it's a very good term you use, reprogramming.
Yeah.
Because you've just, if your brain all afternoon has just been get that done, geez, it's hard to then to switch off and you'll just be like, oh, look at that next email for tomorrow's venue. I'll look at that next checklist for tomorrow's venue.
Yeah, that's why some micros, like, it's really weird when we're like backstage during mics and then they're like having fun, like roasting each other there, and then they go up on stage and they bomb. It's because like, hey man, you were like so focused on like the backstage environment that you can't just like, but no, I mean, some of us can, like, Mika's like best at it, where he's like fucking around and then he'll go up on stage, kill it. But yeah, like you gotta figure out your own.
I guess figure out your own thing. Yeah, some can, some can't. Maybe you know the set, maybe you don't.
Yeah, Dan, because like, Dan usually just like walks off for like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And then like that's the time he needs. And it's all good. Like, Ari comes, sometimes he comes in later because like, that's the time he needs to get ready. Yeah, he'll hit up like a cafe or something, like have his coffee, and that's his process. Like everybody has their own, and you just like, you got to figure out your own thing. But yeah, the organizing part, it was, because the tour was getting so big, and you and me had that talk where he was like, maybe next year we could like do it with like Comedy Estonia, organizing. It would be so much less stress.
I think we've pretty much agreed on that.
It would be so good. And then again, like, we like the time when you just have to be on the door, that was also like tiring because when it's like 3 shows, then it's, I mean, your work day starts at like, I don't know, like 4 or 5, and you end at like 12.
Right. So you're gonna be, and you've got to have a whole schedule. You're on the doors right now. You're gonna host, so you can't be on the doors, or you're closing, so And then I remember Sander saying one time he closed the show, and then 15 minutes later had to get up again and host the next show.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, that's a lot of coordination of individuals to make happen. It's amazing what you guys are doing.
Yeah, and then we tried we had 2 people on doors, and then we did a schedule in Vusu where we had 1 people, one person on the door. But I think one being there alone is harder. When you're there together, you can just have fun.
Yeah, sure. It gets a bit boring sometimes. Just saying hello to people.
We're just we talked about we'd rather be an hour at the door with 2 or 3 of us than just half an hour alone.
That's true. That's nice. I like that. Yeah.
But that part was I know Mikael was I don't want to be at the door. Next year, I don't want to be at the door. That was his only thing. I'm fine with everything. I just don't want to be at the door. Because it is hard, and especially when you have to tell people hey, sorry, you can't get in, and you gotta be really strict with them. And now you gotta go up on stage and be the fun guy.
Right, yeah, because you're but I can stand at the back or I can still get in. Well, you guys, it's sometimes lately we've been able to do it because we can say, well, government rules, lockdown rules. So I guess there's a bit of that, but people still come on, I just want to, fair enough too. They've been standing in line.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're that last one, that first person who can't get in, that's disappointing.
Yeah, and some of people waited for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then I had a few of my friends write to me hey, can you save us a couple of tickets and stuff like that. And I just wrote back to them I don't want to do it because there are people here standing for 2 hours just so they could get in. And my friends got it. They were okay, yeah, that's cool. We'll come and we'll see if we get the tickets. Because it would be super weird to be there's people standing there for 2 hours, and then just some friends roll up and you'll be hey, go in.
Yeah, a huge groove as well.
Yeah.
Next year, I think it was again, I keep going on about giving responsibility is good. It's good for you guys to have this thing where you can get out there and do it for yourselves. You learn
the
from that.
Experience is really
the
good.
Experience is very good. It naturally, like I was saying before, I think this tour just naturally is growing larger and larger. Every year, just for the status of Comedy Estonia, which I'm really appreciative of, that the audiences are so in for. That the deal that we had, which was you guys go do it. I don't want to know about it. Go make it happen. That's 5 years ago we made that deal. We've come a long way in 5 years, and the whole situation and size and number of, it might have only been 5 shows or 6 shows or something 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Now it's 32, 33 shows. That's a different thing. So, I think it's something though we'll still look to, that you want to have more, getting Henrik and Hella and myself on board more, but still there's going to be some essence of Summer Tour that's still wanting to preserve some of it, because there is value in having you guys handle a lot of it yourself. So we're going to have to find some balance there.
Yeah, especially when we get new people in, in tour. I don't know, at some time, there must be some open micers who'll take some of our spots.
Sure, I imagine.
That would be good. And then for them as well, I think the experience of just organizing a show is super good. Because sometimes I see newer micros they see us sometimes giving shit to Hela and Henrik and just fucking around having fun, but we're more closer.
Yeah.
And then when they do it, it's just oh man, it's so disrespectful. You don't know how much work they put in, what they have to do. Yeah.
I've got I'm dealing right now with some. It's a good question, how to get all those other comedians up to that level, which is my job to think about, right? My job to plan all this stuff out. So that's where the Vaskavetti tour we had, where if you've never been on a tour before, the best new comedians could do that show and learn how a tour works and see how it works from the inside. Now I've got 2 new shows coming up that the comedians get to learn. So there's one, Steven, Jakob, Karl, and Tumbet are going to do a show there. I think you've been talking about that as well. You know a bit about
hosting that one.
Yeah, so that's right. We know your name's not going to be on it.
Yeah,
anywhere,
that's what I want.
Host.
Yeah,
it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I talked with Sander about it as well, and he was like, "Yeah, that's super." Like at the first, I was like, maybe I'm being like too needy about it, and then Sander was like, "Fuck no, man! If you put your name up to it, man, you take like 80% of the profit."
And right, because that's not the point of that show. The point of that show is for those 4 young guys to get to do it for themselves, right?
Yeah,
the point isn't
need
to have
experience.
Yeah. So, and then also we've got Caleb, James, and Popov want to do an English show. So they're going to do 20s. I think Carl's going to host.
Oh, that's good.
And it's the same format. So I firstly asked them, what's your show structure? Tell me how, okay, host gets so many minutes, first performer gets so many minutes. And then there's a break, and then you tell me how that works. Cool. So they have to think that through. Now I'm like, all right, you need to give me pictures of each of you. So they have to go off and find their own pictures. We don't do a little photo shoot for them at this stage. It can be in a group. I think Caleb's girlfriend's doing something for them, but I think with Steven and Jakob, those guys, they're just going to have individual photos. Now, guys, I need text from you. I need you to give me a 2 to 3 line bio of each of you. So they got to go away, write a bio, think about that, think about this. And what I think is actually the most important part is I say, what you need to give me is 3 or 4 lines that are going to be the opening paragraph of the Facebook event.
Yeah.
And now we know that people read this. We know that people just actually read the text, because when we put information in there, like some directions or something, people follow. So we know people read this shit. So you need to, on one hand, it needs to be, so someone needs to read it and understand what this concept is. Okay, it's 4 of you, you're all idiots, and you're doing it for the first time, and people understand what it's going to be. It's going to be an Ookskweek, right?
Yeah.
But by having to write those 4 sentences out, even 4 sentences, it makes, like, it gets it firm in their mind as well. It makes them put it down into real words what the concept of their show is. And I think this is actually a really powerful thing to help them get it, right? Help them learn what's happening with their show.
Especially like if it's like, as you said, like 4 sentences. So it has to be sharp. It can't be like just like blah, 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 have like all the text in it. It has to be, people have to understand the whole concept in 4 sentences. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, so that's going to be it. Steven and Jakob's going to be at Ookskweek. Not that I think it might stay there, but with those guys, they're so fresh that I just want to see it run at Ookskweek first. I think they need a baseline. We need a baseline. They're cool with it. Like, it's just the smallest. That's literally the smallest that we can do. And they get 15 minutes. And that's another example of, I mean, some of, Karl and Jakob and Steven and Tumbet haven't been doing it that long. Do they all have 15 minutes of solid material? Not sure.
Yeah.
But we're going to find out. And I think they need to be given that responsibility of having their own show with their own spot to see, okay, maybe they'll rise to it, maybe not. And then Caleb and Popov and James are going to be at Botic. Because I think, okay, Caleb and
they've done
a bit
bigger,
already.
Yeah, they've done
the English thing, and it kind of fits. I don't think they need to be jammed into Ookskweek. So I really like organizing these shows at this level, like this sort of education.
Oh, and have them like set it up as well.
Yeah. So they're involved as well.
Doing the chairs, lighting, sound.
Yep.
So they get the experience. Because sometimes it's really weird. Like we don't have as much new people right now. But when all that wave came in, it was super fun when there weren't any core guys, like at mics, and then those guys are like,
what are we doing?
Set up.
That's why I keep emphasizing, I keep making it a point in the posts that if you show up at an open mic and nothing's happening, just do it.
Yeah.
I don't know, work it out. Like, no one's going to be angry at you. Like, we're going to want you to set up. If for some reason I'm not there, Hella's not there, no core comedians are there, I don't know, go try a microphone, turn on a light, do the best that you can.
Yeah, and they can always like ask, like, some of us like be like, hey, how do I do the sound? Like it's not that hard. So we can show it, and you'll know it next time. And I also like that we have now like Hela's putting like micros on the door.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't have to do that. Like stay at the door herself. So have micros do that. That's good. Yeah.
They learn some responsibility.
Yeah, be more involved with the setup, because at some point like if it's like like during the summer tour days and like they need to adapt, like, or when some of us are on tour, so they can
and it was when
themselves.
You know, it was I did the one show of the summer tour with you guys in Powder. It was really fun. It was the show before 2 quick starts, so that was, it was really great. The set went really well, and I do like doing the summer tour shows, but this year I really enjoyed doing the open mics when you guys were away, when it was just the rest of the open mic crew with none of you guys, no Sander, no Ari or Mikhail to save the day.
You had the proud father moment when like
the
younger kids were off and away.
And just the open micers, and they were doing legit shows. Like they were good. I mean, out of, probably, 6, 7 shows or something, sure, one was down, but the rest of them were good. Like solid entertainment for 2 hours. And I really happy with that. I'm trying to put in the right words. That not even like we've got, if this is a sporting club, we've got 2 teams. Yeah. And even, not even, I don't want to say the second team. I don't know. I'm trying to use some.
It's like
the B team or something. Like not even the A team, right? If there is an A and a B team, whatever. I don't want to rank people, right? But we've got a whole second team that can do a level of show that's like as good as any entertainment that's happening around town tonight. And this is not even the top guys.
Yeah, that's like the upcoming class.
Yeah, the junior team is good enough to put on entertainment as good as anything you can see in Tallinn tonight.
Yeah, and think about like when we get like even more people in, and when we get the third class, like everybody needs to learn all the steps.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, in 10 years time, like the older guys can just like come up and do their spot and just go to their families or something.
Maybe, eventually.
Something like that.
Yeah. Enough system. Yeah, man.
Sander's got to drive back to his like farm location.
Yeah, who knows? Secret location, not even marked on Google Maps. You'll never know where it is.
Yeah.
I guess we'll wrap it up soon, man. It was nice to. Yeah. I'm glad you had a good experience with the summer tour.
It was really fun.
All right. So you think so? What's the formal process now with your internship? You said Hella or Henrik have to show up or something somewhere.
I think probably one of them has to show up. But when the school year starts, then I get more information.
Okay. There's like some, I don't know, almost like a defense or something, is it? Or they just show up for an interview and the professor asks them to make sure.
Yeah, it should be just like your like final, in the same sense as you have like your final assignment in the whole.
And you got to present it or something.
Yeah, you just got to present it. Yeah, I got to write it down, give it to them, then I gotta present it in front of like a little audience and the teachers. Yeah, I think it'll be all right.
Nice.
I'm not too worried.
No, I think it would be hard to imagine who else is getting a more involved project than this one.
Yeah, because when I looked at the actual assignment like paper where there were like, what do I have to do, then there was like, oh, if there's like an event thing, you can like help with the text and you can like be a part of it, but it wasn't like you organize it.
Yeah, you run the whole throw. Yeah.
So I think I'm good with it.
I think it'll be good. Nice, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up. I'm going to put this episode up tonight on Tuesday or Wednesday. So we've still got the 4 more shows this weekend at Odeon.
Yeah.
Coming up, kind of the extra shows.
Yeah, we got Ykskõik this week, then we got Pärnu, and then 2 Odeons.
2 Odeons, that's right. And for the first time, we're selling the tickets ourselves on the web shop.
That's super interesting.
Yeah, I know.
That's cool. And people, like, what I understood, like, people, it's easy for people as well, so they don't, like...
It doesn't seem so hard. We did some testing. I mean, you have to put your bank... It's only bank link right now. We actually haven't got card. I think we're getting that. We're trying to get Maksakeskus to turn that on as soon as possible. But it's just only bank links. But it's all the 4 banks. So most Estonian people have that.
Yeah, all good.
So yeah, they're selling nicely. They're all about they're probably about 30-40% sold right now. So we're getting there. So.
Yeah, it's good because like for like future, yeah, it's good if we can sell our own tickets.
Yeah,
doing it ourselves.
Yeah, it's a very long-term strategy, but I'm down with it. We had to get the web shop established first, learn how all that shit works. Now turn on that. Yeah, the percentages are less, but I mean, it's not like Pileti Levi are just stealing money. They do a service. You know, seatings are important.
Yeah.
Or for example, when there's a lockdown and your whole 5,000 ticket tour gets rescheduled to autumn, that's all of a sudden when Pileti Levi earn their money. You know, like, okay, if you just put tickets up and they sell, you'd be like, well, fuck these ticket companies. You know, but when shit fucks up, that's when, you know, it's worth it to have that service.
Yeah, and also get like promotion on their website as well, which
that's
is
a big
also
factor.
good.
It's a big factor, and it's something we're thinking about. But the way I'm looking at it is okay. So let's say we're selling 4 shows at Odeon, right? So if the Pileti Levi percentage is this amount of money that we would pay to them originally, and to do it on our system, we still have fees and you still pay to Maksakeskus some percentage. So instead we're like this much, right? So we pay this, but before we were paying this. Well, this much is essentially what you're paying for Pileti Levi marketing. So you're like, okay, if I even then put this much extra money into marketing, I'm still at 0 level, right? I'm back to break even what I was before. So even if you had to spend money on marketing because people are not naturally coming to the Comedy Estonia web shop, it still might be worth it because you're still paying less overall.
Yeah, and it's good for artists as well because then you get like an option. Like, do you want to do it at Pileti Levi? Do you want to do it like ourselves? You get like an option, and yeah, it's good because I think like Ari and Mikael and Sander, who are like they have like a really good fan base. Like they have no problem doing it themselves.
Yeah, I'm not sure how we're going to divide that up yet because there's still some cities where Ari sold, but even some cities we had to work for him. So will we put half on our own or half? We're not sure yet. It's all steps along the way. We have to get a better system for doing the seats, or like to say, if there's numbered seats, we still need a better plugin for that. Yeah, we're still working on that stuff. But I think it's something very important for us long term that we sell our own tickets, control all of that.
Yeah, it's good. The way Louis C.K. does it.
Yeah, he was the pioneer of that shit. Yeah, straight up. So that's what we're doing straight up as well. Sell our own tickets. So I appreciate maybe it's a little bit weird at first for people to use a new web shop that they've never used before. Fair enough. Like right on. That's why Pileti Levi is great because everybody knows it. It's super easy. They understand it. So, but yeah, so far so good. People are buying tickets. I appreciate that. And it seems like the experiment is going pretty well so far. We will learn on Sunday and Monday whether the whole thing explodes. But so far, so cool, man. Well, thanks for coming on the show, bro.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
All right, bro. Peace out, everyone. Ciao.
Bye-bye.